Good morning, everybody. Today is the final episode of Season 7 Game of Thrones. So we're having a party tonight, and I decided to do a bit of an undertaking this morning. As you see here, I have onions that I'm sauteing. It's 2 onions. And what's this for? What does this have to do with Game of Thrones? Well, I'm going to make king's cake, or king's pigeon pie. Not cake, pie. If you recall, it's Season 6, Arya fed old boy's sons to him in that pie. That big old meat-filled pie full of human children. Anyway, of course mine will not contain any of that, but I'm going to film this in stages as it's quite a process. So what I'm doing here is sauteing onions. Pretty soon I'm going to add a jalapeno, some garlic, thyme, brown sugar, and apple cider vinegar. And then I'm going to set it to the side and let it cool and work on the next phase. So I will see you then. Phase 1 complete. Browned, caramelized onions. Next up, pork filling. Alright, next phase. What I have here is 3 pounds of ground pork. We are going to add sage, parsley, salt and pepper, thyme, ground allspice, and ground clove and garlic powder. I'm going to mix this together. I'm going to separate it into 3 equal portions, and then I'm going to wrap it up and put it in the fridge because I'm just getting all of my mise en place, all my prep work done. So I will see you at the next phase. All right. Next is the pigeon. These were not easy to find, let me tell you what. Pigeons, no, I'm just kidding. This is boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to toss them with some salt and pepper, a little light seasoning. And then we're going to toss them in there, and I'm going to put them in a bag and put them in the fridge until we're ready to assemble. I'm pretty sure this is my last step before we get to the big old. Alright, Game of Thrones. Best show ever. Okay, everybody. I just wanted to show you this too real quick. I'm getting ready to make the dough for the pigeon pie, but check out my dragon's eggs. I'm going to make deviled dragon's eggs to go with our Game of Thrones dinner. Oh, look at there. Isn't that cool? So, anyway, I just thought I'd show you that. Off to make the dough. Alright, I got my dough done. It's 5½ cups flour, 1 3/4 cups of water, or 1 1/4 cup of water, a 1.5 cups of shortening or schmaltz. The medieval store was closed on Sunday, so there was no schmaltz available, so I could use vegetable shortening. So you mix it all, you bring it to a boil. It's hot water dough. So you bring the water and the vegetable shortening to a boil. You whisk your flour and salt together, stir it up, fold it into one of these things here, and then it has to sit for 30 minutes. Then we're going to cut 1/3 of it off for the top crust, which I think is right about there. We'll see. Then I'm going to roll it out and start this monster of preparation for this one. See you soon. Alright, I got my dough rolled out in my springform pan. Prosciutto. We are going to line the bottom with prosciutto. This is the time-consuming portion of our today's video. Because when I went and got prosciutto, they go, hey, do you want paper in between all the layers? I'm like, nah. Thinking I'm doing him a favor? Well, I might have. But I certainly didn't do me any favors. Alright, prosciutto ham down. Our first pork mixture. Bam! Get in there. Turn loose. Alright. Now, I'm just going to spread it out. You want it to go all the way to the edges so that it cuts good. Doesn't that look good? Next, pigeon. Get our pigeon strips in here. Strips of pigeon, otherwise known as boneless, skinless thighs from a chicken. I was just telling my wife, the reason why I do these is for fun. And I don't know anybody else that likes to go to the trouble to do any of this stuff. What the heck? Eating food should be fun. Making food should be fun. Because you can see what I've done here is not hard. It just takes a little time, you know. Not everything should be fast food. Not everything. You should enjoy life. Enjoy the things like Game of Thrones, which is awesome. Best show ever made in the history of TV. If you don't watch it, you're really missing out. Next. Caramelized onions. I tasted these. They got a little bit of kick because that little jalapeno from the garden was spicy. You can also use a Fresno pepper, but they're actually hotter than jalapeno, so why the hell would you want that in this? And then it calls for apricots, but homie don't like apricots, so I'm using golden raisins. All right, that is one layer down. 2 more to go. I'll show you when I'm done. There she is, full. And then my extra crust on the side dried up a little bit and fell off. So we're gonna try our best to fix it. But I wanted to show you what it looks like before I put the top one on. Bazinga! Ah, scram! Here's the pie, the Meat King's pigeon pie. It's going to go in the oven at 400 for 30 minutes. Then I'm going to crank it down to 325 and cook it for another 2 hours. Then it has to sit out for 2 hours. So rock on. I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. Ah, scram! Here we go with our feast of Game of Thrones. Oh, dragon eggs. We got our wine, and here is the prize. This is the pigeon pie, fresh out of the oven. And then we got potatoes and beans. And the wife put out very nice decorations. So, hope you liked the video. Thank you. Bye.